Ernest Goes to School is turning 30 years old this month, which is absolutely unbelievable that a movie that I watched when I was a kid that was just a couple of years old is now turning 30. Boy, we're getting pretty old here. This movie came out in 1994, and it was the 5th Ernest movie in the line of 9 total Ernest movies. It was released in a handful of theaters in Ohio and Kentucky, and it was the last Ernest movie to ever see a theatric release. After its short run in theaters, this movie started a long line of direct-to-video Ernest movies. In fact, every single Ernest movie that came out after this was direct-to-video, and history looks back on those direct-to-video Ernest movies very poorly. Truthfully, some say they never lived up to the big Ernest movies like Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Goes to Camp, and Scared Stupid. Honestly, I believe all the Ernest movies have charm, especially the direct-to-video ones. They seem to have fun making them, or else they probably wouldn't have made any other ones when they lost their Disney or theater endorsements. This movie had a $3 million budget, but it's unclear what the profits were. It's important to note that this is the only Ernest movie to come out that is not directed by the Ernest director John Cherry III, and honestly, you can tell. But as a kid, I loved Ernest. You couldn't convince me any of them were bad, especially the direct-to-video ones. Alright, let's take some time to go back in time, to a simpler time, man, and revisit Ernest Goes to School. Alright, Joey C., roll the tape. Oh my God, come on. Dude, that is the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
Spinks, you've got to keep your eyes open.
Hang on, Will Sasso is in this movie? Dude, that's fucking awesome. This has to be one of his first movies. And side note about the legendary classic Will Sasso, he has one of the best Jesse Ventura impressions the world has ever seen. You see, this is the second Ernest movie where Ernest is working on some plumbing. The first one being Ernest Goes to Camp, and boy is it funnier in that movie. Although the bit is the same or the plumbing goes wrong, it's still pretty goofy.
Closing it down now would be a fatal blow to the town.
And the only way to cut costs is to consolidate the obsolete schools like this one.
Hang on. I gotta figure this out here real quick. This guy at the district wants to shut this school down to save money for taxpayers. That doesn't seem reasonable. This is a school full of kids, and it probably employs 200 people from the town, which would really kill the local economy. Unless there's 2 schools in this district and they can afford to close one school because all the students can go over to the other one. But if that's the case, that raises the other question. If you have a town that has enough citizens to facilitate 2 schools in a single district, then there should be more than enough taxpayers to cover the taxes and the budget of both schools. It just doesn't make any sense. This doesn't seem reasonable, man. I don't know. I'm not a scientist here. This guy at the district wants to shut a school down, and that's stupid.
You're just in time for a personal demonstration of Supremovac.
So they used the same bit of the electronic appliance not shutting off in Ernest Goes to Jail. And honestly, they must have got feedback from those bits in those movies that said, dude, those bits are so funny, you gotta do that again. And as a casual viewer, they're different enough to where they wouldn't notice it. But as a diehard Ernest fan, I know. They copied Ernest Goes to Jail in this one. Good God.
I'm sorry, sir. It never acted like that before.
All school system employees must be high school graduates.
This is my life. This is my career. This is my spiritual fulfillment.
Or you have to go back to school.
Oh, no. Not that. Anything but that. Not back to school.
You know, this brings up the question, in what world would anybody allow an adult to go back to high school and go to school with the kids? What was the 90s obsession about adults going back to high school? It's odd and weird and creepy, man. Good Lord, just get your GED and call it a day. Movie over. Good God, stay away from the kids, man.
Hello? Is anybody there? Does anybody know where math class is?
Math classes, room 205.
Thanks.
You know, I was going to say this scene is pretty on par with nightmares that I've had about not knowing where my classes are in high school, which is especially weird considering I've been out of high school for 10 years. But all that went out the window when this movie decided to bring in a fucking cowboy on a horse in the hallway to show where Ernest has to go. This movie's a fucking acid trip, man.
The produce truck has a trailer 12 feet wide by 10 feet high by 20 feet long. To the cotton. Each cotton is 1 feet wide by 1 feet.
Good God, this scene is giving me Vietnam flashbacks about high school, and I'm not liking that at all.
Why don't you step up to the board and show us all how to find the answer?
Some of them may be too ripe, and this could lead to spoilage.
Today we're gonna do a little wrestling.
Let's take a movie break and drink our Mountain Dew. Okay, we're gonna everyone hydrate. If you're watching this at home, just hydrate with me. That's good. You should probably drink water instead of Mountain Dew, but that's beside the point.
With my extensive background in the WWF, since the Hulkster was defeated by the Ultimate Warriors.
All right, man. Ernest is a wrestling fan. Confirmed. And this is not the only time Ernest brings up wrestling in his movies. He does it again in Ernest Joins the Army.
Ernest, are you all right?
That last hold was clearly illegal.
You are about to witness the trial run of a Nobel Prize-winning ticket to the big time. This simple mathematical problem, as easily as it can grant and root. Piggy.
I don't know why, but Ernest holding up the wrong answer here made me laugh harder than I've laughed in a long time. It's proof that simple comedy works when used correctly. By God, that's good.
I'm sure you'll give her your complete attention and cooperation.
Again, this movie is a fucking acid trip. What is going on here? Good Lord.
Who can tell me the names of...
Tom Sawyer? Life on the Mississippi?
No!
What the fuck? These kids just set somebody's head on fire in the middle of class. It could have killed them. It could have lit the whole school on fire. These kids are fucking psychopaths. Call the police. What are we doing giggling? Good God.
Ernest, in here.
This is every kid's dream in high school. A secret fort hidden inside the walls. And the one inside the locker, that's fucking awesome, man.
Subatomic brain accelerator for the honor of being our very first
Guinea pig.
I am just speechless, man. Ernest is now an intellect, as we can see. And these mad scientists are going to scramble the shit out of Ernest's brain and no doubt give him a brain hemorrhage and kill him. Holy shit, this school is full of a bunch of psychopaths.
Are you in there?
By saying, are you in there, you must be making the philosophical assumption that I am a conscious entity.
All right, I can already tell where this is going to go. Ernest is going to get really smart and become the biggest dick known to man. God damn.
Answer is y to the fourth power plus 16y cubed plus 71y squared. We diminish each of the false roots so that the root previously 4 is now only 1 and the root previously 3 is 0. Come on, let's go. I'm gonna be late.
I never thought I'd say this, but I've never wanted to punch Ernest P Worrell so hard in my life.
I've just been fortunate enough to find the key that unlocks the powers of the human mind.
Oh, bullshit. Ernest P Worrell gives one speech to the class and they become a world-class band? Bullshit, man.
There are certain persons associated with this football team, and honesty compels me to tell you that I am that leader. Yes. Oh, Bradley, did you lose this?
So what, did he just take the teacher's job? And where is she during all this? Are they in school? Is this after school? I thought Ernest had to take classes to pass them, not running around teaching classes. Boy, I'm confused.
Besides, I have to study, not like some people I know. Yeah, well, however it works, I don't know how to do it.
Would you happen to have any sauce béarnaise for this meatloaf ordinaire? Yes, I bet you do.
All right, so I know Ernest is going to complain about the food not being like bougie enough here, but let's just take a second to look. This is the most high-class high school cafeteria I've ever seen. Did any of these people who designed the set go to high school? I don't know, maybe high school was different in the 90s, but by God, that was not what my cafeteria looked like.
Yeah, that should do it, Bubby. Now the machine is perfect.
Wiki, fellows. I'm running late this morning, and I've got lots of important things to do.
Hang on a second, Who is funding this? This has to be a multi-million-dollar research project for these two scientists. No wonder the school is at risk of being shut down for budgeting reasons. The whole school's budget is going to these two dickheads. They're putting everyone's jobs at risk. What the fuck, man? And in a high school? That doesn't make any sense. At a university, maybe, but not a fucking small-town high school. Good God, I'm heated.
Ernest will only be smart for another 48 minutes.
This was truly a century of great unrest.
Who can be heavy,
This guy is having a stroke in front of the entire class. An actual stroke, dude. And all the kids are laughing. They're no worse than smart Ernest. Good God, get this guy some medical attention.
He didn't mean anything by it.
Astound them and amaze them and leave them begging for more.
But Wanda hits the gong. As fireworks cue, I hit the kettle drum. Rocket, rocket, rocket.
Again, this school is at risk of being shut down for budgeting problems. And they're having a whole fireworks show at the high school homecoming dance? Good Lord, man, hire an accountant. All your money is going towards fireworks and million-dollar research projects that make no sense.
So I was wondering if you'd like to go with me.
I think I'm free.
You know, I was wondering why they blurred the background of the scene, because it looks kind of goofy. And upon further research, and according to IMDb, they blurred it because you can see some banners from the actual school they filmed in. I'm not sure why, probably for continuity reasons, but, you know, the set designer should have really paid attention to that. They were probably editing it, and they were like, oh, shit, you can see the signs back there, man. What should we do? I don't know, blur it? Perfect! That'll fit the rest of the style of the movie.
What happened here?
Hang on, okay. Why is nobody in the school concerned that his personality changes so frequently? And the man just almost burned down the entire school. There should be a federal investigation. And the people of the school should be more concerned that Ernest is schizophrenic. Good God, call the police. This is madness.
I know I let everybody down. Goodbye, my faithful locker.
Didn't think you'd get out of it that easily, did you, Ernest? You have to take the test like the rest of us. Yeah, we're gonna tutor you till you scream for mercy.
Study for what? Does the school have one single test that the seniors take that graduates all the students on one subject? That doesn't make any sense. And plus, Ernest has only been at school for like a week. You know, all I'm saying is the timeline really doesn't add up here. The one test thing pisses me off. I was going to move on, okay? I was going to move on after that comment, but I'm not. What do you mean one test? You have one single test that's going to graduate you out of the 8 different subjects they have? You have it fucking conglomerated into one test? I'm fucking rambling here and I'm sweating. I'm literally sweating. No school has one test. You're going to have a series of tests that leads to other tests that leads to a final test. Sorry about that. Let's move on.
9 to the 5th power. Seward's folly.
Ernest. Okay, here we go. The big test.
We fixed it.
Thanks anyway, Gerda, but I think I better do this one on my own.
And there it is, baby. The character development we've all been waiting for. Ernest himself, the real Ernest, is going to take his one singular test all by himself. What do you mean, one singular test? Good God! Okay. I'm over the test. Ernest is going to be the real Ernest, and he's going to take the test. The single test. Oh, my God!
No talking. No wandering eyes.
What the fuck? What do you mean? This movie is a fucking acid trip, for God's sakes. What am I looking at? Why?
It's all just kind of a blur, know what I mean?
Perfect, crisp afternoon for a game, and what a game we've got.
As chairperson of the school board, of course, I'm trying to keep an open mind.
If you lose, I'll guarantee you the job of head coach. Chickasaw Falls will close anyway. You might as well get something out of it.
So hang on a second. Now there's a subplot for the district guy and the head coach to throw the game, so the school loses the big game, which creates a domino effect that ends up with the school closing? What the fuck? What? I didn't see this coming, and this district should be federally investigated for corruption. What the fuck?
All right, listen up, fellas. I got a new game plan. Threats and a pathetic 18-6.
Don't you see we're the last line of defense?
The fate of our school depends on us.
Good, boys, the towels.
So let me get this straight. Ernest and the kids knock out the football team using gas so they can play themselves on the football team and win the game? Call the human rights people! Call the FBI, man! These kids are fucking psychopaths! And Ernest is running the ring of psychopaths! He is the king psychopath! This movie's gonna make me lose my mind!
So far, so good.
But that was the easy part.
A bright light that shines through the darkness.
Chickasaw Falls.
So, okay. They're still losing the game because obviously they're not football players. I don't even think half of them know how to play football. I don't, so I wouldn't have any fucking idea. So they decide to use the brain scramble thing on the field to scramble all their brains to make them all smart to win the game.
Animals, right? You are Wolverine. Okay, you.
How does that make sense? And how does the audience not see that they're scrambling people's brains, giving them seizures on the field? And how have nobody called the police yet? This movie is insane, man. Help me. Help them. So this is not the only time in the Ernest universe that Ernest becomes amazing at sports due to an outside force. You see that again in Slam Dunk Ernest. Boy, that's a movie. So again, they do the same dancing with the bad guy bit in Ernest Scared Stupid. And let me tell you, it's a lot better in that movie. This movie, I guess it works, but holy fuck is it dumb. And this movie rips off a bunch of previous Ernest bits to fit them in this movie. By God.
And meanwhile, the backfield comes back here to cover me on the play. Pi to the 9, pi to the 9, pi to the 9,
I'm just fucking speechless. What the fuck is going on here, man?
That's exactly what I hate. I heard you trying to sell us out, you dipstick.
You mean Chickasaw Falls will stay open?
So, the decision to keep the school open was reliant on a single football game. Right.
But you know, I think I had it in me all along. Well, I couldn't have done it without you, Miss Flugel.
Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, gender fluid, and everybody else in between, that was Ernest Goes to School. By God, what a movie. Sure, it's one of those famous bad movies, but I love Ernest and all the movies. It brings me back to being a kid, where critiquing movies wasn't something I did. I just kind of enjoyed them for what they are. It's kind of a life lesson. Don't judge, just enjoy things how and where they are, and just act in love. And with that, I leave you with one thing, okay? Cherish the precious moments, be love, and stay dude. I'm out of here, folks. Good God, I got pizza rolls in the oven and a Mountain Dew in the fridge. Can you smell? I almost hit myself in the face there with that microphone. All right, we're going to end this video, folks. Check me out on patreon.com/officialjoeyc for all your exclusive Joey C needs. Follow me on twitch.tv/officialjoeyc for all your live stream needs, baby. And subscribe to the Official Joey C live channel. It'd be a lot of fun. All right, folks, I'm out of here. See you later. Bye-bye. Adios, amigos.